The workplace is full of secrets. Secrets people have the audacity to print. Even if you're careful with printing, unfortunate incidents can happen, exposing your confidential documents to the wrong people.
Good morning, everyone. I thought you were going to tell people that I was going to have Wayne Ford come and ask them for money, right? By a quick show of hands, who knows what Urban Dreams actually does? Many more important people than I expected, but for you that don't, here's what we do. We are a full-service outpatient substance abuse treatment center, and we do OWI classes statewide. We also have a mental health counselor that we partner with Raw-Ons that we have for 30 hours a week that deals with some of the most intense cases that you've ever seen. We have a workforce and education department, and within our workforce and education department, we work with people with criminal records and employers that want to have a pipeline into underserved populations. We also do cultural competency classes, and one of our staff that helps me do the cultural competency classes actually grew up in the segregated South. He actually lived when there were white-only bathrooms and water fountains. And we talk about that kind of stuff, and that lived experience that's stuck with them forever. And here's where you can call me, and we can come to your office, and we can go ahead and set one of those cultural competency classes up for you. Part of our youth-based education, we actually work with students from Des Moines public schools that have been expelled for whatever reason, and they come to our office. So these are guns, these are drugs, these are violent offenses that happen in Des Moines public schools that come to our office, and we get them back graduated. One of the things that we do for fun, which are kind of like that traditional nonprofit stuff, we do 20 to 30 community events every single year. Those events are free. Many of you have come to the events. They're actually incredible. So our next one is we changed out 500 car lights for people so that the police don't pull people over for pretextual stops. Pretextual stops typically lead to something that escalates. We've had people in Minneapolis, actually the way this happened was, in Minneapolis a few years ago, a young man was pulled over for having a taillight out. The police officer, after he told him that he had a gun on him, he had a concealed weapons permit, actually shot and killed him. So a business leader in town went to Chief Winger and said, how can we stop this from ever happening in our city? I don't ever want to have Des Moines on the front page to say that a young man had been shot and killed by a police officer. He said, well, let's call Izaah, let's get him down here, let's figure out a way. So what we did, because Urban Dreams has been around since 1985, has trust in the community, has trust in businesses and organizations, we set up a thing where Napa and O'Halloran International come out and change every single tail light, headlight, dome light, any light that would cause a pretextual stop on cars to reduce that kind of negative interaction between vehicles. But the events are really designed for that, to connect neighbors, to connect business leaders, elected officials, community activists, first responders, and have police have positive out-of-car experiences with the people that they serve. Because Urban Dreams serves a very high poverty and highly diverse population, the median household income to the people that we serve is $28,000. That's a median household income, $28,000. We have over 15,000 annual visits, about 40% are Black, 45% white, and about 50% have criminal records. One thing about our staff is we all have lived experience. We can all be sympathetic and empathetic to the people that we serve. Many of us also live in the neighborhood. One of the things that I've learned to understand is that being empathetic, sympathetic, and living in the neighborhood really matters to the clients. Also, treating everybody with dignity and respect matters. We treat the dope addict just like we treat the governor when she comes. Often I walk to work. Almost every day we walk the dog. My wife's back there, we take the kids and we walk the dog through the neighborhood. All the time, we're stopped and told how much people appreciate the work that we're doing in the community. To bring people together, to bring business leaders like yourself into the community, so people can see all the great things that are happening, all the great people that are there. One of the things, though, that I do like to do when I walk through the community is, as a father, I really like for the people in the community to see what a Black man should look like. Because there's so many negative stereotypes out there. Sorry. And we also have to keep your employers build pipelines into our community. And Some are here today. Some of my good friends down there at Walmart. Thank you. There's been the beginning of these processes, though, there's a lot of animosity, there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of distrust on both sides. A lot of businesses, it's hard for somebody to bring somebody outside of their culture into the workforce. There's also, on the outside, on the other side, my neighbors also feel a lot of distrust towards the companies which you guys all represent. So I know that race and cultural competency and all those things are really hard to understand, and we're always influenced constantly by the confirmation bias of our successes that we've had. Facebook does analytics to go ahead and push us with information that says that everything that we think is right. And our peers and our friends and our families pat us on the back for a job well done. Except for, we have to understand this, that if we want to be an inclusive community, that people who are different from us have experiences that are true to them that we do not and cannot understand, right? That we do not and cannot understand. And that they're not wrong, they're just different. Here's a quick story about how I figured this out. Like I said, my wife is back there, and many, many years she would come home and she would say, all these things are upsetting me, and I feel like it's because I'm a woman. So I continue to mansplain, if you understand what that means. Like, he really didn't mean that, like, he was coming from this angle. So, but as all good husbands understand, over time, I just said, I'm just gonna support you, I'm gonna listen to you, and I'm gonna love you, and understand that that's true for you. Well, she had to do the same thing for me as a black man in the community, when I came home with those same kind of things. So my big idea is this, sorry I'm over time, seek out conversations and authentically listen to people who are not like you, especially those who are marginalized for whatever reason. And then because of all the success that you've had, help.